All right, today we're going to take a look at this soldering iron kit from Temu. If you'd like to win this, stick around to the end and find out how. Okay, in the giveaway video, which will be linked at the end of this, if I do things right, hopefully, you can see that this one's marked as B. I believe in the giveaway video I had said that I would mark each one of the three giveaway items in the first giveaway with ABC, and this is B. It's an orange soldering kit. It says press power button for 3 seconds to enter pairing mode. Awesome. On off. PTC, it doesn't tell you anything about what that is, but I'm just gonna have to assume maybe it's some type of charging state or something, maybe. But it gives you off or a heating symbol. Then the next instruction is press plus or minus button to set temperature. And of course, the range is 380 to 420. Then double click the power button to switch temperature unit, of course, Celsius or Fahrenheit. Automatic sleep mode after 10 minutes. Shut down in 5 minutes. So now what is unique about this soldering iron here, and it's different from pretty much all the other irons that I've done so far, there's a battery. This has a battery in it. Now, of course, it's a 3.7 volt battery, which kind of leads you to believe maybe it's a 18650. So let's start off by hitting the power button. We're gonna hold this for 3 seconds, and you'll see what the display is going to say. So, well, let me do this where you can see it. So, it's showing it's off. You see H-E. So, that's telling me that I tried to turn it on, and it wouldn't come on because there's no tip in here. What's included, which, of course, you get the afterthought soldering iron holder. I mean, I think it's usable. Once you put water on it, it's going to swell up and probably fill the whole cavity. But it's serviceable, and it'll work as needed. Another nice feature is they actually included the solder on this reel, which they did not on one of the other kits that I had got. You also receive a USB-A to USB-C charge cable, and of course we all know I so desperately love hard Chinese rosin, and so hey, we got some in here. It's included. And of course, this hard case that it comes in, it's okay. I mean, I don't see anything really spectacular about it, and I don't see anything super negative about it. It's a cheap case. It's not very thick. It's not going to support you setting on it for sure, or me for that matter. Trust me. And the molded insert is that plasticky insert. But, I mean, let's face it, if you're like me, this kind of goes in the closet, eventually in the trash, and you just end up keeping the power cord, or even dumping all of it, keeping the resin, and this is about the only thing you keep track of, if you're like me. So, here's the soldering iron. So let's grab the tip, and maybe I can kind of zoom in on this, because when I did the review on one of the other soldering irons, I grabbed some of these because I had problems getting the C210 tip inserted properly to where the iron would work correctly. And I got the HSO2B soldering iron out that I have several of these tips in that I mistakenly thought were C210 tips. I'm not sure. Okay, so here I've got a C210 soldering tip, and hopefully you can kind of see the difference between the two. You have 3 segments on the C210, and you also have what looks like 3 segments, but they don't appear to be insulated. But on the C210, you have insulation between each of the 3 segments. So let me kind of, hopefully you can get a close-up on that, so maybe you can see how that kind of looks. So I mean, I very much would love you guys to tell me if you know what that tip is called. And since I had the issues with that other iron, I've kind of I got a procedure that I use going down like a funnel, so that when you come in here, it guides you to the center and gets you in the center of this. And so it goes in pretty easy to this point, and there is a little bit of play, a tiny bit of play. I don't know if you can make that out, but maybe a 1/16 of an inch of movement there, that you've got it in alignment. And so I did put the tip in once, and I got error, and I put it in again, and I did my little twisty thing that I started doing with since I had the issues with that other soldering iron, and everything's fine. So pushing in, kind of give it a twist to make sure it's seated, and hopefully it's seated. Hold the button, and it comes on, and it goes to heating. It's initially set at, I think that said 260. You can see PTC, so possibly that shows up when it's in the process of heating. Now it's heating a little bit slow, you can tell, just nowhere near as fast. Also, it's got lights. I think that's kind of cool. I don't know where it's a super useful thing, but there's been times I've had problems seeing what I was soldering, and I can see where that would be helpful in some cases. So anyway, here we go. Let's see if it goes down below that, because I think what did the instructions say? 380 to 450 or something. So it looks like 260 is as low as it'll go. We'll go heating up 420. Okay, so bottom end is 260, and it'll go up to 420. And it's not really heating that awful slow. I mean, it's not a bad deal. So once you hit the initial 260 Celsius, then I mean it's not a super long wait to get back up. It's about like a soldering station. And so the instructions state if you click this twice, then you go between Celsius and Fahrenheit. So we're going to double click it. And now we're in Fahrenheit, 788 degrees. Double click it again, and we're back to Celsius. So it's kind of a no frills soldering iron. It's not necessarily a smart soldering iron or anything that, as far as the instructions indicate, it can be programmed or flashed with any kind of, I'm gonna set it here. So let's pick it up and see how it responds. Okay, so there's no motion activation. So there's no motion activation. It doesn't come back on after it goes into sleep mode. So you'll have to actually hit the power button to bring it into or bring it back up again to heat up. Okay, so there we go. You've seen it flash off and turn off. So this should be heating all the way down. Let's hit the, I'm just gonna tap the power button, see if I get anything. So it still shows me off. So let's hold it for 3 seconds. And we're back on. And so, of course, when it turns off, it cools all the way down. Let's get it up to 340. Then I'm going to allow it to sit there. I'm just going to go ahead and do this on screen. I'm going to let it sit there at 340 until it goes into sleep mode. Then I'm going to wake it up and after, you know, a little bit, and see if that tip has cooled down. Now, Okay, we just didn't make it into it because it was... So we are heating up. So we're gonna need to charge this because I have finally run it down, but this is after about probably 30 minutes of it being on continuously and heated. So anyway, again, I know you have things to do. You have a life, you have a family. And I very much appreciate you spending your precious time here with me to look at this stuff and to go over this. I thank you, and God bless.